It's time for all ages story time, and this morning we are reading Frederick by Lionni. All along the meadow where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away, the barn was abandoned, and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They worked all day and all night, all except Frederick. "Frederick, why don't you work?" they asked. "I do work," said Frederick. "I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days." And when they saw Frederick sitting there staring at the meadow, they said, "And now, Frederick?" "I gather colors," answered Frederick simply, "for winter is gray." And once Frederick seemed half asleep. "Are you dreaming, Frederick?" they asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, "Oh no, I'm gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we will run out of things to say." The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little mice took to their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. Then they remembered what Frederick had said about the sun rays, the colors, and the words. "What about your supplies, Frederick?" they asked. "Close your eyes," said Frederick, as he climbed on a big stone. "Now I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how their golden glow?" And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began feeling warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? "And how about the colors, Frederick?" they asked anxiously. "Close your eyes again," Frederick said. And when he told them of the blue periwinkles, red poppies and the yellow wheat, and the green leaves on the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. "Frederick?" Frederick cleared his throat, waited for a moment, and then, as if from a stage, he said, "Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat. And winter is last with cold little feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with 1 less or 1 more." When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. "But Frederick," they said, "you're a poet." Frederick blushed and took a bow and shyly said, "I know it." Now is the time. Now is the time we call on all the beautiful bits we've been gathering and storing. As we've connected during countless coffee hours, journey groups, classes, visits with Reverend Kimberly, with Reverend Meredith and each other, music, stories, meals and meetings, we have been storing up community. We have inside us the warm rays, the bright colors, and the dear words that remind us we are connected. These are the stories we will call on as we find new and probably unexpected ways to be in community together. The gifts we will share with each other in the coming weeks are the gifts of presence, grace, patience, listening, and caring. We won't simply encounter each other in the hallway or coffee hour. It will be up to each of us to join check-ins, online bedtime stories and groups. We will call each other, and as it feels safe to do so, we may go for walks outside together. Now is the time. We call on all the beautiful bits we've been storing up as we re-envision community. We are not closed. We are together in new ways.